welcome to the 6th online lecture. Today we talk about cell division. So this is the outline. Introduction is the introduction is this one. This picture is taken in the Olympics that was held in Beijing, I believe. And what happened is that there is algal bloom in the in here in China. We want to know what happened to them. Okay, what causes the algal bloom? Of course, it's the pollution. How can algae they can grow so fast, and what happened to them? So cell division. Cell division has several characteristics. Well, continuation of life depends on cell division. Also, it takes a lot of cell division for a fertilized egg to become a human being. And then we actually have millions of cell division in our body every day. And cell division is a generation of a daughter cell from a parent cell. This is a definition. In here, I give you some examples. On our skin, you see that we have different layers of skin. The top few layers of the skin, they are dead cells. But at the bottom of the skin, we have the live cells that they are in active division so that they can push upward to replace the dead cells. And we'll talk about the cell division like this today. So why cells divide? What was the purpose? For prokaryotic cell like bacteria or archaea, they use cell division for asexual reproduction, or they call it binary fission. And for eukaryote, for the what do we use for cell division? We use it for growth of the individual, repair or replacement of the damaged tissue, or for sexual reproduction. For sexual reproduction, we use meiosis specifically to make gametes or sex cells. For growth, repair, replacement, we use mitosis. So for asexual reproduction, the offspring will be genetically identical to the parent. This is the case of the algal bloom that we saw from the introduction slides during the Olympics in Beijing. Sexual reproduction, on the other hand, it is the combination of the two individual genetics material. Therefore, the offspring will have a totally different genetic background. We will have not genetic, they will have different genetically different than the parents. So it is similar but not identical. So binary fission, the simplest form of cell division and simplest form of reproduction. So you see that at first the parent is like a typical bacteria. You have plasma membrane, you have the cell wall, and theoretically you should also have the capsule, but it's not drawn in here. And you have the DNA, we call it nucleoli. It's just a review from your previous lecture, nucleoli. And then you have DNA replication and segregation. Segregation means separation. DNA replication, and then they separate. Then you have two identical nuclei. And after that, you have the cytoplasmic division. That means the cell divided in two. And here you have the, we call it cell plate. This is called cell plate because it is the precursor form of cell wall. And then eventually you have two identical cells. So this is the asexual reproduction, or we call it binary fission, or it is like a mitosis that we'll go into detail. Mitosis, it is the parent cell. We have one parent cell, and we have two daughter cells. And the two daughter cells, they are genetically identical. Not only that, the daughter cells, the two daughter cells, they are genetically identical with the parent cell as well. So that is the overall view of mitosis. And mitosis, you can roughly divide mitosis into two parts. One is called karyokinesis. One is called cytokinesis. Karyokinesis. Karyo is like eukaryotic or prokaryotic. It means the nucleus. So the first part is the dividing of the nucleus first, and then it is followed by dividing of the cell. So it's always dividing the nucleus. That means the chromosome will replicate first, and then they will be separated. And after that, then the cell will divide. For meiosis, the general overall view is that meiosis is for making gametes. Gametes, they are basically sex cells. For male, it is sperm. For female, it is eggs. Remember, the word sperm, for singular and plural, they do not have s. So sperm can be singular, can be plural. There's no s after sperm, but egg, you have s for the plural. So female meiosis will give you eggs. Male meiosis will give you sperm. This is one of the differences in meiosis from the mitosis is that meiosis will reduce the number of chromosomes by half. So originally we have two homologous pair of chromosomes. One pair from father, one pair is from mother. But then after meiosis, when we form the gametes, each cell, they only have one end. They only have one set. And then they have to fertilize and combine the two sets each set into two sets. So after it fertilized, then you have the two ends. That means two sets of the homologous pair. So fertilization, that is the definition on top. Fertilization meaning that the fusion of a sperm, one sperm and one egg, to form a zygote. We call this fertilization. So two end, that means two sets, we call it diploid. One end, when we have one set of chromosome, we call it haploid. After zygote is formed, and then the embryo will eventually develop. But of course, after zygote is formed, then the zygote will undergo a lot of mitosis, a lot of cell division. It is exponential from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, and so on and so forth. So it is exponential. And then after the cell division and the embryo is growing, then the most logical step following is the cell differentiation. Cell differentiation meaning that the cells start to develop its specific role or function. Some of the cells, most of the cells, we call it somatic cell because they develop as our body. Some of the cells, we call it germline cell or gamete-producing cell. They are for producing gamete in the individual. And then last type of cell, we call stem cells. They're unspecialized cells and they can divide into any type of cell. And we use the stem cell for regeneration or repairing tissue in our body.